All right, ladies, we are going to take notes on worksheet 1.3, arithmetic skills, order of operations. All right. So at the top of the page, you'll see this, these letters that are supposed to help you remember the order that you do things in. P stands for parentheses, any numbers within parentheses first. E, exponents, so if you need to square something or raise to the third power. MD, multiply, divide, in order from left to right. Some people get a little mixed up and think they're supposed to always multiply before they divide, but really you multiply or divide whichever one comes first, and we'll see that on a couple of examples. And same for A and S, add or subtract in order from left to right, okay? Some people write it like this, and thus. All right, notice that I expect you to include all the steps. I want to see them. And it says this on the homework, but I forgot to put it right here. No calculator. We are doing some work with and some work without the calculator. This assignment is to be done without the calculator. So brain and maybe your fingers if you need it. Okay. Example 1. 6 plus 8 times 2. We multiply before we add. I want you to copy the 6 plus because you're not doing it yet. Some people like to underline what they're going to do, the 8 times 2. I've seen other people, you don't need to copy this, but I've seen other people who do this kind of mark with their 8 times 2. Those are the two most common. If you have another little way of writing it, just make sure I can get a look at it. I'm sure it'll be all right with me. 8 times 2 is 16, and then 6 plus 16 is 22. Okay? On example 2, we have adding and we have subtracting, and the single biggest mistake that people make is they jump over and they want to add first, and that's not the rule. The rule is if you have adding and subtracting, start at the left and go to the right. So for this problem, we're going to do 6 minus 4 first because subtracting comes before adding. 2 plus 5 is 7. And in example 3, I'm going to add first because it's in parentheses, not because it's addition. So we're going to do what's in the parentheses first. 6 plus 1 is 7. And 15 minus 7 is 8. Oh my goodness, sorry, 8. Okay. Example 4, we have dividing and we have multiplying. So the rule does not say to multiply first. The rule says multiplying and dividing in order from left to right. So if you take a look at example 4, 5, and 6, they all have an 8 divided by a 4. Or an 8 and a 4 and a 2. And we're just going to make sure we do these problems in the correct order. For example 4, 8 divided by 4 comes first. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. In example 5, we have parentheses. Therefore, we do what's in the parentheses first. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 divided by 8 is 1. In example 6, there are no parentheses, so we go left to right. And 8 times 4 is 32, and 32 divided by 2, I think most of y'all probably know that, but every once in a while you might have to go over to the side and do a little bit of division. If you don't need to show that, you can do it in your head, that's correct. Okay? All right, example 7. We love problems with parentheses because we always know what we're supposed to do first. We do what's inside the parentheses. 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 squared. Now, I want to remind you that 7 squared is not 7 times 2. 7 squared is 7 times 7, which is 49. Example 8, we have addition and we have an exponent, so we're going to do the exponent first. This is where I want you to copy down the 5 and the plus, and then change 2 squared into 4, and then 5 plus 4 is 9. Example 9 is a fraction. When you have a fraction that has arithmetic in the numerator and arithmetic in the denominator, you do those two pieces separately. I tend to do these sideways if I have room. I just think it flows a little bit better. So I'm going to do the top first. 15 plus 3 is 18. And then I'm going to do the bottom, the denominator. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then remember we talked about a fraction being a division problem. So you can either think of this as dividing. You can think 18 divided by 6. Or you can think reduce. Those two things are both going to work. And either way, the answer turns out to be a plain old 3. Okay? ones on the back are just a little more complex. They're not really particularly hard, although we know we love fractions. Just a little bit more steps to them. So example 10, I have two things that have exponents on them. So I'm going to do both of those things right at the same time. I'm going to do 2 squared, which is 4. And I'm going to do 2 cubed. Remember, that's 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. And after I do both of those exponents, I'm going to add 4 plus 8, which gives me 12. I like to show example 11 because it's exactly the same thing as 10. Sometimes you take parentheses off and it changes the problem, and sometimes it doesn't. And one of the things we'll be working on this year is making sure we understand when can we remove the parentheses and when can we not. In this case, we still are going to square the 2 and cube the 2. We're still going to get 4 plus 8, exponents first, and we're going to add. Now, examples 12 and 13, if I took the parentheses off of those, they would not be the same. You don't need to copy this, but I'll just show you. If I took three halves and wrote the square without parentheses, that would be telling me to square the 3, but not to square the 2. And so when you have it in parentheses like that, 3 halves, and then the whole thing is in parentheses, I'm telling you I want you to say 3 halves times 3 halves. And that's not very hard. 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times 2 is 4. And I'll copy the plus 2/5. Now your homework from the previous night's homework was to practice your fraction arithmetic, so I'm going to remind you how that works. We're going to get a common denominator. The common denominator for 4 and 5, 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to put a plus here because there's a plus right there. And then we say 9 times 5, which is 45. And we say 4 times 2, which is 8. And then we add the numerators together. 45 plus 8 is 53 over the denominator of 20. Check for reducing, but do not change that to a mixed number. Okay? Number 13, the order is different. We have a lot of the same numbers. We have 3 halves and a 2/5, and we have a square. But the order is different. This time we have to do the inside part first. So I'm going to draw a nice big parentheses and put that square on the outside. I'm going to get my common denominator for 2 and 5, which is 10. I'm going to put a minus because that's a minus. Okay. 3 times 5 is 15, and 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to keep working on the inside until I've got it down to just a single number. 15 minus 4 is 11, and the denominator is 10. And now I'm going to square 11 over 10. So that is, some people like to write this out, 11 over 10 times 11 over 10. And 11 times 11 is 121, and 10 times 10 is 100. Okay. Number 14, we've got parentheses, and then we've got those square things are called brackets. They're just the second set of parentheses. To do number 14, we're going to go all the way to the inside to the 8 minus 3. And I really want to see you copying the pieces that you're not using over again. I'm using the 8 minus bracket 10 divided by, sorry. And then I'm going to replace 8 minus 3 with 5. Okay? Next, inside the brackets, they're just like parentheses. 8 minus 2, and 8 minus 2 is 6. All right, for 15, I'm going to show you 2 ways, and then after that, you can do it whichever way you want, or if you have a different way you want to show me, I'll be glad to look at that. By order of operations, we're supposed to start at the left. 3 plus 2 is 5, and copy everything down. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. Negative 3 minus 6 is negative 9. Negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. And negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. That takes kind of a lot of steps. Okay. One way that can be a little bit shorter is if you will think about all those minuses as plus negatives. And then if you'll gather all your positives in the front and all your negatives in the back, can add all three of your positive numbers together in one big step. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. You can add all of your negatives together. They're going to be negative. So 8, they're all going to be negative. You add them up. 8 plus 6 is 14, and 14 plus 3 is 17. So this is going to be negative 17. And then you only have to subtract once, and some people find that that's a little bit easier. You don't have to do both of these methods. You could do one or the other. Okay, so 15 examples. And for homework, I want to point out that you are to do this without using your calculator. When we have the quiz, you'll do it without the calculator, so you have to practice. And I want to show steps. I want to make sure you show me 1 or 2 steps. And you have 2 pages of that. Page 3 and 4 looks like it's about 20 problems. That's only 18. Okay. Good luck.